All right, so to change the oxygen sensors, there's the upper right next to the transmission. And when you come all the way back down here, there's the lower one. The front one, the wire runs along, is up there. It's on that bracket on the transmission. So you get that unplugged. I'm gonna get some PB Blaster and spray it on there, let it sit for a second. Squirt. This back one, it's the only way to break those loose is from up on top. That should make it more fun. All right, that's sat there for a couple of minutes with that PB Blaster on it. It's a 12 mil. Oh wow, that was easy. Oh, please let the next one go that easy. Probably not. Ratchet. Oh, actually, that broke loose. Wow, I can't believe those came loose that easy. That is the weirdest looking. Oh, look at that. I can't believe that broke loose. I'm gonna wire brush all this and get it cleaned up. And it just, there's what it looks like. I'm gonna get it unplugged. That works. Well, that doesn't look good. There's a wire. There's a bare wire there. Little red one. I'm sure that's supposed to be hooked up. How does that come out of there? Oh, I see. There's a tab in there. Looks like I get it with a screwdriver. Okay. So inside that plug, there's a tab that you have to lift up because it catches on that little deal right there. So you have to lift that tab up and then pull the plug out from inside the factory harness. Okay, so for this rear O2 sensor, it had the two nuts on it. I ended up having to use a 1/4 inch ratchet with a 12 mil because it was only thing short enough to get the right angle on the nuts. But then the shield slides off the studs. O2 sensor comes off, and there's also a gasket. You gotta get off there. Same with the front, there's also a gasket on the front. Now to unplug the rear one, the wire goes up into the cab from underneath here. It goes up. I actually had to unbolt the seat and lift it up, and the plug is up underneath the carpet here. You'll have to pull it out, push that tab up, and slide it out. Then you pull the whole thing out. Okay, so the rear oxygen sensor came with this. You have to screw it on there like that, so that when you put it on there, it mounts flush. The old O2 sensor had this plate screwed to it, and the new one is a little bit different. You can see this one doesn't have that tab right there. This is what it came with, so that's what I'm going to use. All right, so I already took copper antices and put it on there. Got to put the gasket on it. You take your O2 sensor, set it on there. You take your heat shield, or it's not really, I don't know if that's it's a heat shield. And you put your two nuts back on from this side and tighten them up. All right. Get you guys to see that. There it is. Tighten down, snug, but not over tight, because then if you ever have to do this again, you probably strip those nuts out. You take your gasket, get it back down in there, if I can. There we go. And then you just, sorry, just hold the camera and do this. Click, and there it is. It's not perfect, just like this. Oh, you can pull that up, okay. So we can pull the excess up through the grommet. And that actually went in oh, I broke it off. Oh well. Just stick it back up underneath there like that. Put it on. Put your seat down, put your 2 bolts back in your seat, and there was 4 screws holding that plastic piece in. The rear one is done now. It's all tightened up. I pulled the extra up through there. It's underneath the carpet, so that won't drag. And now we're gonna put the front one in. I'm trying to show you this, it's hard to see. But this red wire on there had popped out. And I didn't know that. I think that's what was probably setting the check engine light off and making it run rough. I ordered a new sensor, or a new factory plug, $65 just for that plug and 4 wires hanging out of it. And it's a special order part. So I actually won't be able to finish this job today until I get that factory plug and wire it in there. But here, we're gonna go ahead and take the old gasket off, get a little wire brush, clean all the crud off of that. And it's the same setup as the rear one when it comes to that flat plate. You just have to take it and screw it onto the end of the sensor and tighten it up. It's 22 mil. I just put it in a vise, 22 mil on that. You don't have to be incredibly tight. And don't forget your copper anti-seize, just in case you need it again or to take it off again. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but there's like a flatter side to this gasket, and that's the side that goes down onto the exhaust. And you just slip it over. See, I pulled the top stud out with it when I unbolted the top, and that's all right. I just wire brushed it, cleaned all the threads up and everything. You take your sensor. Like that. Okay, so on that front oxygen sensor, I didn't record it, show you, but it had some notches in it on the bottom and on the top, or on the side, that didn't need to be there. So I just took a razor knife and I trimmed them off and smoothed off these sides in order to get it to plug in. So you'll probably have to do that. Actually, you can see this one was done that way. Just take a razor knife and smooth take those extra notches that were on there off, and then it will plug into the factory plug like it's supposed to. What happened here is the oxygen sensor wires got broke on this, so we had to replace the factory plug. I ended up having to order this on eBay. It was $80 after shipping and taxes for this plug with these 4 wires. The easiest way to do this is to unplug your oxygen sensor and unplug the transmission wiring harness, and pull the wiring harness, the whole thing back up over the transmission. Then all you gotta do is make sure you match up your plug the same way and connect the wires. Red, there's a small red and a small white, and then you got a white and a white with a red stripe. It's very simple. You just line those up, follow the wires up, and connect them to the same colors. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. But I went to the parts store. This is a special order piece, and they couldn't get it at O'Reilly's anyway. I just called them up and asked them, so ended up ordering it on eBay. I'll try to get the part number and put it in the description. So there you go. It's really not that bad. Anybody can do this. And just I'm gonna put liquid electrical tape on all these, fill them all up, make sure no water can get in it, and put the protector on there. And I got more new protector. I'll finish putting more all the way on this. And just hook everything back up. Oh, the mount, this one's destroyed. Well, it's not that bad. I'll probably take it off there. This just has a tab. Push this off and you can put it onto the new one. That way you can put it back on the mounting bracket on the transmission. And that should be all. Reset your codes and you should be good to go. I figured I'd show you this. In order to get that mounting piece off there to put under the new plug, I ended up taking one of the smallest screwdrivers I had, flatheads, and I broke the little tab out of the middle off the old factory harness. Not off the bracket itself, but off the harness. See there where I broke it out of there. And then this was able to slide off. I don't know why I wasn't, you just able to get it off just by pushing a tab, but I think it might be easiest just to break it, because I mean, you're gonna throw it away anyway. Try to break that piece and that'll come right off there. Put it on the new one.